So I talk about my personal who I am. I came
Yes.
from Los Angeles. I used to live there 11 years,
Okay.
working in company short time and mostly like by my own, like my individual employee. So and came back here and I feel many Japanese people think how it goes in the office work, in the family or school is usual or normal, but
Yes.
have same stress they feel, and they don't speak out, and
Right.
just
This is very true.
So
I understand.
yeah. So how do
How
yeah
do you do that? Okay.
mhm.
Well, first of all, the way I see it, like for you and for so many people that leave Japan and then return to Japan, it's like you're living in two different worlds.
Right.
And you're living that within your emotions and within your head. You know, your mind knows something different than what just the Japanese culture is, and your emotions have experienced other things that the Japanese culture has not. And so therefore you're kind of in a place where when I look at someone like you, one of the things that I see is you're like a messenger, okay, to the Japanese people. But your challenge, okay, is to find a way to communicate with them these ideas, okay, these feelings that doesn't intimidate their viewpoint or their structure, their feelings. A person who is a messenger, what I would call a bridge between the East and the West, okay, which is kind of what you are, all right? You have to stand in the middle of that bridge. You have to draw from your understanding of the Japanese culture, and you have to draw from the understanding of the American culture, and you have to find a way to bring it together, okay? So you're not condemning one and praising the other.
Right.
You're saying both of these have value.
Right.
Okay?
Yes, exactly.
Now,
yes.
That's your challenge. All right? To be able to say, okay, now the Western philosophy is this, and the Japanese philosophy is this, and they both have a role to play in spirituality. So instead of it being one way or the other, it has to be both. So when you speak to, let's say, a Japanese person who is very Japanese, okay, they've never been out of Japan, they don't know other cultures, they only know their cultures, their society, their rules, their way of doing things. If you're talking to that person, instead of trying to bring them up to your level of understanding, a good communicator is able to go down to their level and talk to them on their level, gain their trust, gain their friendship, and once you've done that, then you can start just throwing little ideas in. Well, you know, back in Torrance when I was there, you know, this guy told me something, all right? And I've always thought about that. And then you've planted a seed, okay? A thought, a seed, into their mind. So you're not telling them it's right or wrong. You're simply saying, this is what someone told me when I was in California. And I've always thought about it. And then, well, what do you think about that? In other words, that's how you start to communicate with people, to plant the seed. So if I write a book, okay, and people read that book, I'm not telling them what to do. I'm planting seeds. Do you see? They're not right there, and I'm not saying you have to do this, you have to do that. I'm saying, you know, try this, or try this, or if you want to, okay?
So and you don't give this just exact solution, but you give the seed. And
a seed. A seed. You're planting a seed into their mind, into their thoughts, and then that seed, that spark will eventually develop, okay, in the right time for them. Because everybody is different, and everybody is going to have a certain path that they're walking. We're all going to the same place, okay?
Right.
Eventually, we're all spiritual beings. We're all going to end up in the same place somewhere down the back. But everybody's got a different path to walk to get there. So by planting seeds, you're helping that person on their path towards enlightenment. You're not trying to enlighten them. You're planting the seeds, they think about it, and then they grow in their own time.